Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Zano, and this is episode 289 of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in one, two, three galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call it Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today is Tuesday, May the 25th. 2021 at the time of this recording. Ladies and gentlemen, come on in today for another fun-filled episode of the greatest podcast that you listen to on a regular basis. Now, today we are going to talk about packaging. We are going to talk about packaging your products amongst affiliate things and whatever else you want to use to make sales. All right. Now, why do you want to start creating your own products? The reason why you want to start creating your own products eventually is so that you, whenever you want to, let's say we talked about this before, but some of you wasn't on board the podcast then. So let's say you are on something like ClickBank or JVZoo. Let's say you are in the affiliate marketing realm. Okay, you're in the affiliate marketing universe. And let's say somebody has a contest, some internet person, they want to have a contest. They say whoever sells the most, yada, 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 it will win, let's say $10,000. Okay. So you come along, you, Johnny, Sally, Susie. Okay. You come along and you're like, I want to enter this contest. What can I do to, get people to buy from me? And let's say you have 6 different products and you're like, you know what? I'm going to give away 3 of my good products. And you wrap it all up in a nice little package and you tell the people, if you buy from me, if you use this affiliate link, I will give you A, B, C. Boom, 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 boom. You wrap it up in a nice package and they go, oh, you know what? I'm going to buy from Sally because her package was better than Joe Blow's package. And so, let's say you do that and boom, before you know it, the weekend's over with, the contest is over, and you have won yourself $10,000. Congratulations. Now, this is why you should always be creating courses, creating content, creating whatever you can to make your business bigger, better, and brighter. We talked about this before. At the end of the day, internet marketing, all this stuff, basically, we all are stores. You know what I mean? And you want to have the most attractive store. You want to have a lot of things in your store so that way people won't leave the store. It's like Walmart. It's like the Marvel Universe. You want people to come into your bubble and you don't want them to leave. That is the main objective. It's just like watching Netflix. If you ever watch Netflix, Netflix, you'll sit there and you go, know what, one episode. And then let's say you have sleep or you can't find the remote. You're like, I gotta get up. And the Netflix is like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, next episode. Okay. All them streaming services do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, next episode. You're like, oh, well, and then they start talking. You're like, all right, this might be interesting. Let me watch another one. And it's a cycle. And so for you, you want that for your store. You want your store to be the one-stop shop. It's like my parents. Talked about my parents before. They love some Walmart. You know why? Because Walmart has the medicine, Walmart has the meat, Walmart has their, the phone cards they buy. Walmart has everything they need. You know what I mean? Like, I try to convince my mom one day. I said, "Why don't you go some other store?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "You don't go to Walgreens for medicine?" And she was like, "No." Why? It's more expensive. I'm like, you don't want to have your you don't want to have your eggs in one basket, do you? And she's like, I don't mind. I'm like, okay, never mind. So that's what you want. So the more things you can create, the better off you will be. And I will tell you this: it's sort of like, have you ever went and wanted to sign up for a 401k, or You know, if you ever been, I listened to this book about, I listened to this book, Tony Robbins, and he talked about, what was it, money management, money mastering the game, something like that. It's a very, it was actually a good book because it wasn't no rah 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 Tony Robbins speech and nothing like that. It was just talking about money and finances and things that we all should do to to gather up a nest egg and things of that nature. And he talked about compound interest, and I like to equate you building a library of material to compound interest. The faster you get started, you know the better off you will be when it comes to that kind of stuff. Because just imagine if you build up a whole library full of, and listen, they don't have to be, they don't have to be Huckleberry Finn, you know what I mean? They don't have to be classics. They can be, you know, they can be good, you know what I'm saying? They could be good enough. They could be good, everything is not going to be a grand slam, you know what I mean? So don't don't get frozen when it comes to producing books, when it comes to producing content. Don't get frozen with perfection. All right, knock off the perfection. Everything's not going to be, you know, perfect. So, but the more the more stuff you have, the better off you will be. The more you will be able to, shoot spider webs like Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like you will have all angles covered. It's like this guy that I'm on his email list, guy named Ben Settle. I like Ben, and I remember he apparently he doesn't do social media, but then he wrote a book about social media, and one of his emails was like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 I sound like a hypocrite," and I thought to myself, I mean, I really don't like social media, and I'm not on there a lot to be talking about it. But in my arsenal, I would like to have a book about social media and why you should use social media, or like a PDF or something to do with social media, because people are going to ask you questions. People are going to ask you, what got you to where you're at. You know what I mean? And I can always tell people, okay, I don't do a lot of social media, but one thing that I've done every day is when I upload a podcast, eventually I will go on Twitter, boom, 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 use my little hashtags. I will do a couple that's trending, and then I will do the, online marketing, stuff like that. And some days, I some days it's like 20 people saw it. It's been a few times 500 people saw it. You know what I'm saying? Once and I get up to 1,000 people to see it. The most important thing is you just want people to see, to see the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So, so if they ever come back or they ever run back through it one day, they go, "Oh yeah, boom, I know that podcast." You know what I mean? So this is what you want to do. You want the more stuff you have, the more your audience will be like, "All right, I don't need to leave because I want to listen to him." I want to listen to her. I want to listen to them. How's that? Boom. You like that? You know, him, her, them, the whole nine. You know what I mean? You understand? So you want people to come in. You want people to walk through the door, walk in your store, and you want them to never leave. That's like, because the days of going, because I'll tell you like this. I mean, me personally, even though I give my parents a hard time because of because of where I live, because of the traffic, like I like to stay right in my little neighborhood. I don't like to venture out too much. Not because I don't want to, because traffic is so terrible sometimes around here that you don't want to get caught up, in unnecessary traffic. Like I don't want to go downtown. I don't want to go, I live 30 minutes from downtown Atlanta. I don't want to drive downtown to go to a restaurant, and then at 3 o'clock, I'm like, oh, let me go. I want to go to this restaurant, and then go downtown Atlanta and get caught in traffic for like 2 hours just to eat at a restaurant. No, I'll eat around here. They have great restaurants around here as well. So, you know, you want to create a store. You want to create a atmosphere for so people won't leave, so people can hang around. You know what I mean? And they, like I told you before, they ain't gonna buy every product, and that's fine. But what you want, if you I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what online thing. It doesn't matter online, offline. It this don't matter. What you want is participation. You want people who are going to be active. You want those kind of people. You don't want the wallflower. You don't want the one that's everything they got is expensive. You know what I mean? Like price point is fine and everything. Of course, you're not gonna sell everything low budget, and you're not gonna sell everything high budget. It's gonna, it's gonna vary. You know what I mean? So, but you want active people. So you want them to come to the store. You want them to be active. And that's what you're looking for. So that's why you want to create as many products as possible, and you want to, you know, have different things from t-shirts to keychains to whatever things you can think about. You know what I mean? Like put them in the arsenal if they make sense. You know what I mean? Like, of course, if you're gonna do a weight loss, you're not gonna be like, hey, if you buy from me, I'm gonna give you a 12 pack of Coke. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna do that. So, just think about that kind of stuff and write it out, and then write goals that you want to do. When do you want to write this book? When do you want to create this PDF? When do you want to write this blog post? You know what I mean? And the more you do that, the better off you will be. And when it comes to, because it doesn't matter, even if you sell your own products, you can always fall back on affiliate marketing. And there's always a good way to make money in affiliate marketing. And the bigger your list, the more active your list. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, can you be an affiliate from this product? And you check the product out, you do your research, and you're like, sure, why not? You can always come out and make quite a bit of money. You know what I mean? We talked about this yesterday. It would be cool for you to just, one weekend, you're like, hey man, I made $25,000 this weekend, man. Like that would be awesome. You know what I mean? So, we want to have the right packages. We want to package our products. You want to get into the mindset of the grocery store. You want to get into the mindset of a department store. You want to get into that business mindset. And so the more products you have, the better off you will be. Now, books, blog posts, audio, video, doesn't matter. But you want to start producing this kind of stuff. And we talked about this before. The content you make, you don't have to copy anybody, but you can always equate, because as I told you, we all have unique lives, and we all have lived a unique life. And the stories that you could tell, you can always relate to the business. You know, it it works. Trust me. People want to hear your story. People want to hear the ups. People want to hear the downs. People like authenticity, and the more you're able to give that, the better off you will be. People, because listen, we all know. Hey, if you told me, hey man, I woke up today and my first day of affiliate marketing, I made $1 million. Or my first day of e-commerce, I made $1 million. I'd be like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, first off, I would be I mean, I'll be honest, I'd be like, what? And then I'd be like, nah, man, my first 2 months I made $0. So I would be annoyed at you anyway. But you know what I mean? Like, come on, people just people don't want to hear that, man. People, I know people like to, but that's more if you are in a hyper niche, those kind of, you can trick those kind of people. You know what I'm saying? We talked about this in the bonus episode. How people are just falling for all these con men, online, and that's because they are looking for the quick fix, and there is no quick fix, man. There's no, there's no fast button you can hit. I mean, I wish it was, because hey, I would love to be I would love to I would love to be in my bed at midnight instead of me being out, honking around with trucks and trailers, and me thinking of podcasts to do when I get off, and doing like 4 jobs and all this kind of stuff. So I would love to tell you that, hey, we can all go out and make $1 million in one day, but we can't. So the more you but the more you create, the more content you create, the more chance you will have to build a sustainable business. And you know it's just like the compound interest. The more stuff you create, the more stuff you will have at your arsenal, and the more that way when something comes around, let's just say it's Christmas time, you're like, hey, I'm selling you 3 books for $600. This is the deal. This is the steal. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say if you write newsletters or something like that, and you're like, hey, I want to save some old newsletters. We're gonna go back and things of that nature. The more that kind of stuff you have, the easier it will be for you. All right. So that's that. And then I would like to recommend a book before I get going. I've Now I normally don't like me personally, I normally don't like the Kindle because it kind of, like I can't sit there and because a lot I'll be honest with you, a lot of times when I'm in bed, if I'm in bed trying to read, I'll fall asleep, and so the book will hit my face. And there's been a couple times me and my wife have been watching TV on the iPad because, as I told you before, we've had to be sleeping upstairs the last couple, or the last like month. So people been downstairs fixing it. So I've been holding the iPad, and then she's like, "Oh shit!" and I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "The iPad almost hit your face." And I'm like, "Oh man!" So I don't really like reading the Kindle, but I bought this book on Kindle because it was a lot cheaper than buying it, the physical copy. But the book is called 57 Big Ideas to Transform Your Business and Life, The System Club Letters by Ken McCarthy. This is an excellent book, I must say. I am 75% done, but this has been dropping up. Some of the stuff I knew, some of the stuff I'm like, makes perfect sense. And it's like, you know, it reiterates that, hey, I'm on the right path, and it, you know, you know, sometimes you need that. You're like, all right, I'm on the right path. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing things right. And this, some of this stuff is from like 2005, but a lot of this stuff translates until today. You know what I mean? So if you ever want to read a book, you know, and get some good ideas, get some good tips, check out the System Club Letters by Ken McCarthy. He pretty much founded the internet marketing. He said he jumped on the idea very early. So, shout out to him. I hope one day that I can jump on something early and ride that train out. You know what I mean? So, you always want to be one of the first ones, not the last one on the train. So there you go. And this is why you're smart, because you listen to this podcast and you jumped on board. Yesterday we had quite a few downloads, I must say, on the podcast. So there you go. Somebody's getting it together. And I appreciate it. And I appreciate you for listening. But this is it, ladies and gentlemen, for the podcast. I hope you enjoyed the bonus episode today, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Online Marketing Moves. So we will be back tomorrow with the all new episode. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Take care of yourselves. Oh yeah, by the way, if you haven't already, go to wherever you get your podcast and give us a 5-star review. All right. Let the people know that this is the greatest podcast of all time. But until tomorrow, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. And as always, everybody, peace.